Welcome to another episode of Pencil Spotting. Today we are looking at these Noris School pencils from Staedtler. These are in 4 different languages here, and I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce the German. Well, maybe I will. Bleistifte, crayon in French, lapices in Spanish. These are made in Germany. These are a 2B pencil. These are made with Wopex material, and I Googled that, and I then completely forgot what that means. It's like a sustainability thing, I believe. And of course, I got these as part of our Secret Santa at work this year because these were $6.49 a dozen, which is about 54 cents. And that's more than I typically would want to spend on pencils for myself for everyday writing. But I, if it's Secret Santa, then yeah, sure. Let's, we had a dollar limit, and these were well within it. So these are gorgeous black and yellow. They are pre-sharpened, not super sharp. They do not have erasers. They just do have this little orange cap on here. Again, typically European pencils do not have erasers, so kids have to take an eraser to school with them. These are made in Germany, like I said. They are a 2B pencil. PEFC, that's the forestry thing here. And I've been using these products for years, and I've never actually been sure how to pronounce the name of this company. So I Googled it, and according to Google, it says Staedtler. Sounds like. Yeah, I don't know if the mic's going to pick that up, but anyway, it says Staedtler, which makes sense to me. So I do love these products, though. I've always had good luck with their stuff. So the wood does not smell extraordinary. It's interesting, though, when you look up close, and I don't know how well my camera is going to be able to focus on that, but they are not. They almost look like they were sharpened by hand with a knife. So they have some kind of machine that is not a sandpaper roller that these things roll over. So I'm going to try one just as is. Staedtler. And for a 2B pencil, it feels a little bit firmer than some other 2B pencils I've found. Noris School pencil. And I imagine, $6.49 for 12 of these. I imagine if I were a German school student or a French school student, I'd probably be paying about the equivalent of about $2 maybe for this. But, shipping things overseas always adds to the cost. So they do feel very nice in the hand. They write pretty well on this cheap school notebook paper. Not my favorite pencil for writing on this, and maybe it's just because they're not super sharp. But our usual, the quick brown, I could erase that. Let's see how well they erase. Not terribly well. Let me zoom you in a bit here. Not terribly well on this cheap paper. So the quick red fox jumped over the lazy brown dog. I'm feeling a little bit of drag in them, but it's a good quality pencil nevertheless. So we will try our steno pad here. Back out just a little bit. Again, the name of the company, it's spelled Staedtler. It's pronounced Staedtler. And on this slightly green paper, it's not writing super dark. These are not described as a drawing pencil at all. They're described as a school pencil, just for kids to use everyday kind of homework in school stuff. So I'm not super impressed with it for the price. If I were a student using one of these, paying $2 for a dozen, I'd probably perfectly happy. So let me get my legal pad out here with fancy, this is actually fairly high quality paper. I forget where I bought this. It does not have a name anywhere on it. This may have come with like a pad folio that I bought. So the Quick Brown Fox. Yeah, these are not, why do I keep saying the Quick Brown Fox? It's the Quick Red Fox. Jumped over the lazy brown dog. One of these days I'm going to Google and find out what kind of sentence this is that uses every letter of the alphabet. This is how we used to test out typewriters. So it writes smoothly. It's not a drawing pencil, it's a writing pencil. It does a fairly good job. For $6.49, I'm not super excited. If I had my druthers, I probably would, I wouldn't recommend these at that price. If you could get them for about $2 a box, they're perfectly good, if somewhat ordinary pencil. But I'm going to try sharpening this one, and we'll see if a sharper point makes a difference. So I will be right back. All right, it does take a nice sharp point fairly easily. Had no issues sharpening it in my F-Mat electric pencil sharpener. And one of these, I have several different pencil sharpeners. One of these days I will do a little video about them. So let's see if this is any better. Oh, I do like that better. Sometimes I really like a super fine point on my pencils. And I tend to sharpen pencils quite often as I write because I like to maintain that. And you might think that a mechanical pencil with like a 0.5 lead in it would be the way to go. And I do like those. When I was in college and doing lots of trigonometry and calculus, I loved using a mechanical pencil for that. I could write so neatly. So anyway, Staedtler Noris School. Oh, I do like it better with a little bit of a sharp point on it. This is good. This is a 2B pencil. That feels much better. Let's try our steno pad here. When I was a kid, I was always interested in what do they call it? Shorthand, because you could, each word was represented by a symbol, or each phoneme was represented by a symbol, and you could record entire conversations, which is how people took dictation, which is no longer a thing. But we still have steno pads, and they always have this ring binding and a line down the middle. And this is this Office Depot one steno pad, or bloc steno, as we would say in French. And that's all the information that it has on it. So, but yeah, we still have the steno pads, we just don't do shorthand anymore. So, sharpened. Oh yeah, that feels much nicer. So I have a feeling, I'm going to use up this entire box. No qualms. They're just absolutely gorgeous pencils. The yellow and black, they're like a kind of a yellow jacket pattern to my way of thinking. And they're very comfortable in the hand for a hex pencil. I always say that I usually like a round pencil as opposed to a hex, but these are very comfortable in the hand. I could write with this for hours and not get any kind of finger fatigue. So sharpened, they are better. And I have no doubt that I will use these up without any problem. We'll go back to our fancy paper here. It's not the darkest line for an HB, but it is highly readable. So sharpened, oh yeah. They are very smooth though. Very, very smooth. So I'm going to grab another one here, and we'll go with this guy. And there's a little bit of this end of the pencil. I don't know how well you can see that, but there seems to be just some marks and smudges on the yellow. And I guess that's probably from being shoved into a box and then being shoved into, this box, and then a bunch of these boxes being shoved into a corrugated box and then being shoved into some kind of crate, and then going in a shipping container and being thrown on a ship or an airplane and being transported to the United States. So I have my Fisker's 2-hole pencil here, a 2-hole pencil sharpener, so we'll see how it does on this. Because I have a funny feeling, if I were using these pencils, I would need to keep a pencil sharpener fairly close to hand. And that made a little bit of a mess. These hand pencil sharpeners always do that. It did not get it to a very fine point, and that's not a problem with this pencil sharpener. This is not a problem with this pencil. It's a problem with the pencil sharpener. I have yet to find a really good handheld pencil sharpener. Of course, this one just has blades, and these get dull and so forth. So I'm still on the lookout for a good handheld pencil sharpener. This one says it, it contains the mess, but I mean, you can see it's just, I don't know how well you can see that, but it's just dropping little pieces of lead all over the place. So would I buy these if I were a student in Europe and I paid $2 a box for them? I would absolutely love these. As an American, paying $6.50 for a box of 12, yeah, I'm not as impressed. But I will use this entire box and I will enjoy the experience very, very much. I do recommend them, just not at this price. So that is it right there in a nutshell. If you can buy them cheaper than $6.49 for 12, I would recommend them. Thank you for watching.